Good day, ladies and gentlemen. Time for another episode of BNI Pro Chat with Justin and Adam. We have the present day perspective from a couple hardworking Canadian entrepreneurs. I'm Adam Schaffer. I'm with Apeq Products and Vipeq Canada. I hold the building materials seat in the BNI Musketeers chapter out of Calgary, Alberta, Canada. I like to supply and manufacture amazing building materials to almost any homeowner or contractor that wants to use them. And anybody that owns buildings or a contractor that wants to work in a niche market is a good referral for me. Justin, let's hear about you.
Hey guys, it's Justin Mondor here from Brickhouse Gym and Gym Star Apparel here in Regina, Saskatchewan. I am a member of the BNI Queen City chapter. I currently hold a role in that chapter as the personal trainer or the fitness seat. And I am also their social media person for the chapter. As well, about me, I am the ambassador for another chapter called BNI Business Builders based out of Regina, Saskatchewan. And we're just here to rock it out and give you guys some value bombs of information.
That's exactly what we're about. And Justin, I'm glad you mentioned your extra ambassador role in BNI. I'm actually proud to say that as of tomorrow, I'm the new visitor host coordinator for our group. And I had a little practice meeting last meeting. We had 2 potential visitors that could join. And I'll tell you one thing, one of them already applied and the other one personally told me that she may be going forward too. So obviously things are going good and I plan to build our chapter as much as I possibly can. You guys, today, Justin and I wanted to touch on a topic. When you tune into our podcast and our YouTube channel, you're going to see, hot topics regarding BNI, how to get the most out of BNI, tips and tricks from our personal perspective. I'm in my 4th year. Justin's in his 2nd year. And if you've watched our episodes in the past, you'll see that we're proven. We've got a lot of people to sign up. We kick butt with our traffic lights. And we do fully believe that anybody that's an owner, a manager, an entrepreneur, or is in charge of their own career has a proper seat in BNI. Today, we wanted to cover a hot topic. Which topic, Justin?
We are going to talk about staying in your lane. Hopefully everybody knows what that means by the simplicity of it all, but it just means to stay true to what your seat is, or at least stay true for sure to what your one business that you signed up with in BNI. Have you had any issues with people that staying in their lane in any chapters you've been in there, Adam?
Oh, everybody, I think, does run into that, and it always takes that nudge. So I think that's why we want to be, we're trying to be proactive. The more followers we get, we want to be an education segment for everybody. And what he's talking about, staying in your lane, one of the most simplest rules of BNI is that we all have our specific seat. So it's up to us during that meeting to stay in that seat, to have the respect to, obviously not step on other people's toes. If we're visiting another BNI chapter, okay, if we hold the same seat as somebody else, it's best practice to actually reach out to the president and whoever holds that seat, just to let them know that, hey, you want to join as a guest. I'm not stepping on toes. All I want to do is actually connect with you, the other person that's holding that same seat, so that you can collaborate, and you just want to expose and share yourself. That's totally fair. What you can't do is go in and start selling what that person sells in that chapter. And another thing, like Justin says, stay in your lane inside your own chapter. Extremely important. You do hold one seat. We need to make it important that everybody understands in the chapter that seat is still open. If that's not the seat you hold, if you're talking about it every week, the members of the chapter might not realize that seat's actually open and readily available. If they even, if they have somebody in their network, right, that could actually fill that seat, they might hold off.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of really key points to touch on about this. As an entrepreneur, I don't just do one thing. Some of you might notice in my name on the Zoom here, it says Brickhouse /Gym Star. So my second business is Gymstar Apparel, which I sell clothing online. And for the purpose of this podcast, because we are nationwide, it doesn't make sense to talk only about my gym that I operate. So this is a little bit of a different scenario. It's completely acceptable. It's our podcast, so we can do what we want. But when
Just
I'm in
like in
my
a one-to-one.
yeah,
If you do offer something other than what your seat lists in a one-to-one, you are totally free to sell that service, right?
yeah,
It doesn't even have to be a bad thing. Just like everybody came into BNI with previous relationships. Everybody doesn't fire every accountant and lawyer and cleaner that they had when they come into BNI. But what we do is we do use everybody in our chapter as much as we possibly can.
yeah, yeah. So when I am in the meetings, my sole focus is just talking about the gym. Let's talk about the personal training. And the only extension of that I do is just motivational stuff that is still surrounded by the gym. I'm not going to come in and try to sell protein powders or tank tops or anything like that, because that is not my seat. The only time I personally think it's acceptable to blur the lines about what to talk about is if maybe somebody's working on a charity project. If somebody has a seat and they're doing something that week with the food bank and they're looking for donations, that is completely fine. But it's when it's blurring the lines of, hey, you know, I got this other business over here, and this week I'm going to ask you about that one. Not
Well, Justin,
acceptable.
I can actually, I can jump into that. I'm going to be offering roofing materials, flooring materials,
Mhm.
and everything in between. But
Yeah,
I am offering, I'm building material, I'm building exteriors, and I will not be offering anything in BNI, other than our beautiful thermal cork shield, our cork based product. And the beautiful thing about that is, it's not a bad thing for me to actually get a different seat. In my chapter, even a different chapter, that's a roofing seat, or a different seat, that's a flooring
mhm.
seat. And that's what we all actually need to look at. That's added value for all of us, right?
Yeah,
You don't want to go in there and sell, supplements on top of your personal training and gym memberships,
mhm.
because you know that your chapter has room for another seat. Probably
Yeah,
somebody that's involved with Gymstar will fill that seat in the future.
yeah, exactly. And you know, it's one thing when, yeah, like you said, when we have a one-to-one and the question comes up, or you're talking about the history of your business, it's acceptable to talk about those other avenues. But, think about when you have visitors that day. What are these visitors going to think when you start, crossing the line? What if it's a new member that's only been there for a few weeks? Then, it's a monkey see, monkey do. Oh, this must be acceptable. I'm going to talk about all four businesses that I run. And,
Yep.
it just gets out of control. So that's why we have to do
Yes.
these subtle reminders. I mean, I've seen people that have been in BNI for many years, and then suddenly one day they're promoting something completely different. And even for me, I've only been there for 12 months. I'm like, okay, what's going on here? Like,
But I
I know,
fully agree with you. Like you
you
said,
know,
monkey see, monkey do. Let's stop the bad habits before they happen.
yeah,
Because one of the basic rules of BNI is that your name is attached to a seat and your industry is attached to a seat. And it is important for visitors and new members to see that we do hold each other accountable. I would love to go in there and sell everything. But frankly, man, I actually use it to force me to focus on one thing,
yeah,
right? And like I said, if I want to get another seat, well, that's only going to force me to have somebody else focusing on that industry and this and that and the other thing. And givers gain. We actually want another person in that seat that's working for us, for all of us, every member of your chapter.
yeah, yeah. You got it. I mean,
I think we
that's pretty.
dissected the heck out of that, guys.
Yeah,
To summarize, we just want to touch on the fact that if you hold a seat in BNI, try to stick to that seat. It won't cause any issues, right? Issues when you're working with 30, 40 people, it's not hard for some people to start seeing issues, and it's best that we stay in our lane.
yeah. I 100% agree with you there. And yeah, I think it's simple as that. Stay in
I
your
think so
lane.
too.
You know, you don't drive your car down the street swerving in and out unless you're a complete lunatic. So
Let's focus, guys.
let's
Use this
focus.
as a lesson.
Yeah,
Stay focused on your seat. You join BNI to focus on that seat.
yeah.
Yeah, we got bells and whistles, and every day I could focus
You know,
on something else.
I
But
I
we
just
want
thought
to
of
focus.
something. I just thought of something. Because there's a lot of people forget that business is a journey, kind of like a roadmap, right? And you're not going to start taking these shortcuts off the road just as a guest to see where they go, because it's a long-term play that we're working on here. So I'm a long-term play to be working on gym and my gym, Brickhouse gym, and to grow that. So I got my sights set on the journey, and I'm not going to be taking the fork in the road for a brief moment, because it's going to make it take longer to get to my journey.
That's
So,
what I was saying, man. You don't want those bells and whistles and those distractions. Like I said, everything loses its gusto after a while, right? You have to force yourself to stay focused, to stay energized, to stay passionate about it. For
yeah.
me, it's not hard. I don't know about you.
No, I've always been on point with focusing on the task at hand.
As you can
Right on,
tell,
man.
Justin is a straight shooter.
Yeah. Yeah. So we can pretty much wrap it up. Again, I am Justin Mondor from Brickhouse Gym in Regina, Saskatchewan, and Gymstar Apparel across Canada, in the BNI Queen City chapter. Adam.
I'm with Apeq Products, Adam Schaffer with Apeq Products and Vipeq Canada. That's VIPEQ. You'll see it down in the description. We manufacture and distribute thermal cork shield all across Canada, and we can update the look and efficiency of almost any building. I'm with the BNI Musketeers out of Calgary, Alberta. And we don't ask for any subscription fee. We just ask you guys to subscribe, like, and share us with your BNI chapter. We do feel that we offer something, and anybody that's looking to get a little bit more out of BNI can take a little bit away of some action items away from every one of our episodes. So subscribe, like, and share us.
Right on. And I'm just going to add a quick one little extra ask for today. Guys, put a comment below. Give us a thumbs up if you like these videos, and we'll keep rocking them out. Thanks, guys. Have a good day.
Thank you. See you guys.